First thing that's going to come up on your screen is from, again, our brother in space, Smoke. He could be followed at Smoke Dog. Replace the O's with Q's, and then you'll get his username. All right, so what does he have? It's this right here. 4 days ago, the Bank for International Settlements confirmed that ISO 222, quote, will become more important as more jurisdictions move to the tokenized systems. Checkmark. This is coming directly from the central bank of central banks. Yeah, documented. All right, so what does he have? Well, for one, if you did a Google search, you would find this particular PDF, and in it mentions the next generation monetary and financial systems. Efforts are already underway to harmonize messaging standards across borders, for instance, with the move to the ISO 222 standard. I mean, I covered enough about this in regard to how ISO TC 307 Quant network standard will play a role, but it ain't about that. What it is about is some of these other key things here. Basically, I do want to mention this, even though it's not highlighted, it is worth pointing out, and it's the whole thing of this. How would you like to earn an extra $100, $200, or even $500 a day, even more than that? I have many friends that are earning money every single day trading futures on BTCC. It's a simple process, and even if you don't want to learn how to trade, you could follow a trader on the site and let him do the trading for you, and you will earn according to his trades. Sometimes I follow people like this guy, Stock Investment Manager. I was following Q, but Q went inactive. This person is still active. And as you see here, 633 cumulative number of copy traders. Now this person takes 15%, which is 5% more than what Q would take on that copy sharing for that profit sharing ratio. But where the case be, this person still has a pretty nice history that I'm comfortable with. Of course, you're going to have to find somebody that might fit more towards your particular needs. The reason why I'm referencing this person is, again, like you see here, 17.91% in regard to the last 30 days on profit to loss percentage. But if you keep in mind some of these other key factors, the win rate. Now, not as impressive as Q. In reality, I don't know if anybody will be. I think that person was basically the GOAT at BTCC. But about roughly close to 50% on that win rate. And also keep in mind it's the AUM as you see here. That means basically assets under management. So Q was roughly about 60,000, give or take. This person's at 9,541. So again, I want to follow people not just for the sake of the win rate, but also to see that they had more assets under management. Tells me that they have a lot more to risk. So again, find somebody that might fit 1, 2, 3, or more categories that you feel as though is the one to go with. But for me, currently speaking, I'm going with this particular person. Again, the person with those Korean characters. And again, just in case you missed it, is this one. And again, in the interpretation, it's basically Stock Investment Master. So even if you don't know how to trade, there is a way to make money. But I suggest learn how to trade. Earn you some extra money on BTCC. It's easy. You don't have to KYC, and you don't have to use a virtual private network VPN. This is a wonderful site. They've been around since 2011. Give them a shot. Also, when you earn that extra money, you can store that on your DCENT wallet. The DCENT wallet was not affected by the recent XRPL debacle, where the backdoor of many wallets was open and there was a breach. So DCENT wallet was not affected by that. DCENT wallet is as safe as you keep your seed phrase. It's a wonderful product, and you can get the discount by using the link. It's the only way to get the affiliate discount, and that is to use an affiliate link. So that link is popping up on the upper right side of your screen, and it is the one that you will use. You will also get free shipping. Pick you up a DCENT wallet today. Secure your assets. If you don't have them stored in a wallet and sitting on an exchange, then you're at risk. So pick you one up today. Thank you. The whole thing of the takeaway. So it mentions the tokenized platforms, right? So the middle part, even though Smoke doesn't have a highlight, I will mention this. Tokenized platforms with central bank reserves. Again, those reserves, everybody. Commercial bank money and government bonds and at the center can lay the groundwork for the next generation monetary and financial system. Who's part of that system? I mean, don't overthink it, but in reality, I think you guys know the answer to that. And the next part I want to jump into is this is what Smoke was citing. What is it? Well, it's basically this. And literally right below where you see Federal Reserve Bank of New York, again, BIS 2025, Federal Reserve Bank of New York, Bank of International Settlements. Interesting. Efforts are already underway to harmonize messaging standards across borders. And again, we already stated this, but just in case you missed it, for instance, with the move to ISO 222 standard, these efforts become even more important as jurisdictions advance towards new tokenized systems. I think that's where it's at. That's a big deal. It's a huge deal, right? And basically, before I kick it over to Rue, here's the other key takeaway. And he mentioned about, for example, your Ripple XRP. Yeah, because even in another key finding from the June 27th, I mean, of course, people point out July 14th, again, June 27th, Smoke posted this. This is important. You see here from a source which is called identity.com, mentions some things here. So, for one, let's blow this up and look what it says. Literally, actually, let's just see it for a second. Enhancing the existing infrastructure gets cut off right there. But today, disparate data that is hard to collect, store, and share. And look what it says: boil it, mash it, stick it in stew. Swift, automating clearinghouse, real-time gross settlements. That's RTGS, right? And Ripple payment rails. That is so major. Absolutely. And even with that tech stack, look what you see on the right. Applications, those APIs, of course, things like Quant will stand out. So, this is definitely worth sharing. And the other part I want to jump into, I think it's roughly, two, maybe three more. We're going to get into the other key highlights because I don't want you guys to miss this. Even in the BIS documentation, remember Rue and I'm sure you remember this, Rue. Let's get you to chime in. Remember, brother, when we did the whole outline with Tenemos?
Yes.
And look what we have here, brother. Look at this. Our real-time payments only available through real-time payment schemes. Let's actually, I think we can blow this up a little bit more for people to see it. So it says here, uh, in addition, there are other payment solutions and schemes which don't use normal rails that offer real-time payment solutions known as crypto rails. These allow currencies and payments to flow cheaply, rapidly, and smoothly as information on the internet, helping provide relief from high exchange rate fees. The Ripple protocol, think about that, for example, is a distributed payment network that allows exchanges between any currency, not some, any. I'll say it again, any, including balance check of funds, authorization. Using this protocol, users can send currency, route the transaction through the lowest cost exchange path on the network, and have payments converted into local currency and delivered into the recipient's wallet immediately, 24/7, in real time, in a few seconds, domestic or pan-European or international. And again, cited from Temenos. Before we kick into the next part, what we have on the final connector, Rue, I just got to get some of your 2 cents about this, man. This pounds home why we did the research about Tenemos. Like what, 2, 3 times over the course of 2 or 3 years now?
Yes. Yes. So this makes me really bananas about XPR because they fit right in there with the onboarding of credit unions. So and we know that Tim Amos is a partner with them, right? One of the things that really stuck out for me is the diagram you showed with the different stacks on it. They did not list Ripple as a blockchain protocol. They listed it as a payment rail. So that's very interesting there. But then with blockchain protocols, you could put XPR right there too if you wanted to. Um, so some interesting things, and then you got all the cloud environments. Um, you know, I always wondered why they like different things like Avalanche and different blockchains are like, hey, we work with these different cloud environments. Well, there they are being mentioned, right? So very interesting there. Makes me high on XPR, makes me high on XEN, makes me high on Solana and things like that because they work with these clouds. They're ready. They work with Visa. They work with Tim Emos, right? So yeah, um, we're right at the doorstep of ISO 20022 being live and active. 714, 1122. Man, it's going to be a glorious time.
I think so too. I think so too. And we're obviously glad to share it with you guys. I want to share, I think there might have been one more key thing. Yep, there is, that we want to share here. So remember how that arrow was pointing down, right? Let me show you with you guys what I'm talking about. Remember how that arrow was pointing down to something? And we're like, what's that pointing down to? Or pointing up to? Let me just share this with you. So for one, I'm sure you saw this earlier, Rue, right? So
Yep.
this is pointing here, right? Right? You ready for it? So there's that. Okay. Now watch this. Let's share this other particular tab. So for one, highlight the whole thing in Ripple protocol. Let's take you over to this. This is another key finding from Smoke. Okay. So what we have here is this blockchain crypto processing and solving interoperability and data challenges across geographies. And remember how you mentioned the whole thing of cloud, Rue? So this
Yes.
has benefits, and it says what it is. Cloud-based ledger interconnecting the world's disparate financial systems enabled international movement of funds while riding the rails of existing infrastructure. We just did a recent outline earlier in a different video talking about that existing infrastructure. And there's a key company about that that is definitely interesting to say the least. That's, of course, with the Patreon, but that's not the point. Let's go down here. And basically, I want to share this with you guys. There it is. Look at that.
Oh, when you go down there and it's talking about Ripple, and then it's going into this box, and then it comes out as Euro. Maybe that box right there is Stronghold, because
Yeah, could
from
very
our
well
other,
be.
because from our other video, which you guys will see, Tammy Camp mentions that they have 8 fiats already on board, where they could possibly do that for both Stellar and Ripple, where something comes in USD, comes out Euro, and it's seamless within seconds with trust and like KYC probably too. So again, another reason to like Stronghold.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to point out, yeah, we can be speculative about Stronghold, and I do believe that you're probably right. That's Stronghold. But the other area I want to point out is the bottom right. It's pointing to JPMorgan, right? So that should be again the main highlight because I mean it's literally there, right? So we do thank Smoke for highlighting that. You may think that's it. We're almost done. This is major. This is the last key connector. We want to at least address the citation and the reference. This is going to come from globalfintechseries.com. What do we have? Well, this is what we have. It says here, in fact, the upgraded correspondent banking model, just double check you can see this. Yeah, you can.
Yep.
Banking model offered by Swift GPI, along with new innovative cross border channels, is where international payments are headed in the future. I'm not saying that like, oh, it could be. It is. All right. Single Euro Payments Area, SEPA. Okay. I don't know how many times I've done deep dives about SEPA. Even Channing, deep dives about SEPA. Bottom part. Okay. Think about this for a second. Let's take you down to it. So it mentions here central infrastructure based on non-bank solutions like Western Union, so on and so forth. Multilateral payment platforms, Visa, you get the gist. But when you go further down here, it says all European banking systems like your Target, EBA, SWIFT, SEPA, currently in the process of implementing or transitioning to ISO 222. ISO 222 provides the quote, oh, so important. Wow, that's funny. 100% compatibility between diverse, look what it says here, cross-border payment models and platforms, and its widespread acceptance is both a catalyst and enabler for the introduction of new payment rails. So, again, back to that visual we just showed earlier. Again, remember how Rue was highlighting or sharing some of that? So we'll take you back to that just in case you missed it. There it is. Let's pull it up on the other screen one more time. And boom, what do we have here? Swift, the automated clearinghouse, real-time gross settlements, RTGS, and Ripple, and boom, payment rails. So there it is. And the way I look at it, Rue, apparently you just got to take more of a deeper dive and find the research. Shout out to our brother in space, Smoke. But I do want to get your closing thoughts in regard to all this.
Another thing that comes up here to me is like why Quant's so necessary. Think about all the different ledgers that are going on here. You got the USD ledger, the Euro ledger, the British pound sterling ledger, or all these different currencies, the ledgers on those currencies. And then if you want to get more granular with it, you can say like, okay, well, you got Ripple's ledger, you got um, you know, um XLM's ledger, or you get even more granular. You got a credit union's particular ledger, right? So you're going to need to reckon all these ledgers, right? And there's multiple events occurring at once. This is why you need the coders and the event-based programming that goes into something that we were talking about on the Patreon. Um, but to say the least here, this is why you need a over ledger, because there's tons of different ledgers here that are happening. And remittance payments are it's a very huge thing. And now with blockchain, now with ISO 20022, like remittance payments go down to like seconds. Like something that took days before and requires so much trust, so many bean counters. And when I say bean counters, I mean like people that just say, okay, well, is this who you are? Is this the right person? Is this the right bank? I got to go through all this paperwork. You're now doing this in blockchain in seconds. So this is going to save so much time. It's going to save so much money. It's going to save so much fees. And by doing so, that'll give the ability to bank the unbanked. So there's going to be so much more money that comes into the system just by the fact of it being cheap, efficient, and fast. Like so much so that this also in my mind, this opens up the world for metaverse, because you couldn't keep track of another world's ledgers. But now with this being fast, cheap, and efficient, maybe you can keep track of a literal another world's virtual ledgers with all of this technology. I don't know. I'm really excited to see the fruition of all of this. But yes, I'm really excited to be an XRP, a stronghold, and etc. investor right now.
I am too, and I don't have nothing else to add to that because I think you said it all, and we shared quite a bit. So, great key findings from Rue. Glad to be collaborating again with Rue. Again, if you're on my channel, give Rue a follow. His YouTube is literally at Blackrue. If you type it just in like that, it takes you right to his channel. He can be all followed also on X at Blackrue. So we will do more of these collaborations. Glad to have him back on. And guys, hey, do us a solid if you listen to the entire outline. Type in this key word into the comments. And I think you guys know what it is. It's ISO 222, right? It's two words, actually. And we'll know that you listen to the entire outline. On behalf of myself and the brother Rue, know what you have, know why you hold it. The research trumps flood 110%. We'll see you guys on
Peace.
the next one. Peace out.